Truth to power. Truth to power. Waiting. You're speaking truth to power. Truth. Myself. Information, and lions. Welcome to truth.
Okay, everybody, this is Information Man and Lion's Den. We're getting back to our original stuff that we used to do together. But tonight is really going to be what I would call the Lion's Den report, everybody out there. If you are with us, I know it's late. If you live in the East Coast, if you live in the South, those of you that work, I know it's late. Those of you in the West Coast, hey, the night is still young. But we're going to get into a few issues here and make it do what we make it do. Now, let me begin to hit the recording because I'm going to do a podcast out of this for the speaker and podcasting world out there. For those of you on Speaker Podcast, and now we're on iTunes. Thanks to my man Lion's Den. We're on Spotify. I just got us on Spotify. We're on, of course, we've been on iHeartRadio, Google Play. You can find us in the podcasting section. And I recently have ported the show over to Archer Podcasting as well. So I'm going to hit the button for a speaker. I'm going to repeat a few words again for the people that will be listening. I'm not going to go live with this on the radio program, but this will be podcast for the radio program. So I'm hitting the magic button right now and hoping that everybody can dig what I'm doing right here. So let me make sure that here we go. And boom. Welcome, everybody. This is Information Man and Lion's Den. We're about to get into a Lion's Den report related to, as the title is, Black News and Talk Truth to Power. Okay, Black News, Truth to Power. We're going to talk about a few stories that we have going on right now. And let me see. Let's get into it. I got my man Lion's Den here right now, and I'm going to stop that. And Lion's Den, can you break down some of the stories that we may be talking about now? I know that we're going to talk a little bit about, we got a few stories here. We got the report on a Black woman jailed after being sexually assaulted by a state trooper. Mm-hmm. What other story do we have, brother?
Yeah,
that's within the rounds that we talked about.
Yeah, other stories we want to talk about. A week ago, unidentified woman was found hanged in a tree in Atlanta, basically near a Walmart. Actually, we're going to talk more about that. Also, we're going to talk about the Kevin Robinson case of what happened in New Orleans with that the family wanted answers of what happened to Kevin Robinson, who was chased and murdered behind his backyard in New Orleans. And finally, tonight we will talk about the same white woman who called police in Oakland. Well, the neighborhood come together for their own barbecue. So much more stories in that. So we're ready for the main topic tonight is the Black woman in Texas that was allegedly sexually assaulted by a police officer.
Allegedly sexually assaulted by a police officer. So
yes,
let me real quick, Lion's Den, why we get ready to get into this, I need to do something real quick. And as a result of that, I'm going to play Black People's Therapy for just a quick moment while I go grab my other computer so that I can be able to interact with other folks in the chat room. So Black People's Therapy is there were some women who decided that they wanted a vacation away from white people. So I'm going to just play a little bit of that while I go and grab. Let me see here. What do we have here? Let's see. I'm going to play just a little tad bit of that Wow. Well, no. You know what, Lions did, instead of playing that, why don't you start talking a little bit about the first incident? Why I go get the other computer, and I'll set it up. So just go ahead and start talking to the folks out there, and I'll go grab the other equipment that I need and let folks know. And then I'll run back and pull up the article so everybody can see it that may be in the chat room listening. Okay, brother?
Okay.
All right, go right ahead.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, according to news1.com, a black woman was in jail after allegedly being sexually assaulted by a police officer on Sunday, May 20th, 2018. Sharita Dixon Cole was pulled over by a Texas state trooper, was later identified as Officer Hubbard in Wacochabe, Texas. She immediately called her boyfriend, making him aware she was being stopped, and told him the location. Allegedly, she was pulled over because the officer suspected that she was under the influence. Cole voluntarily passed all her drug tests, including the breathalyzer. However, the officer didn't like her attitude and said she was going to jail. He handcuffed her hands behind her back and placed Cole in front of the passenger seat on his patrol car. Hubbard then took his hands on her thigh. He asked her if she wanted to go home. She pulled her skirt, and he said, "Oh, if he could earn her way home if she really wanted to go." According to the Post, Cole's boyfriend arrived just as the officer began to accost her. She said he was armed, and Hubbard replied, "If you tell him what happened, he will be armed and his firearm will be visible when I have to shoot him." And that's mostly what the story is about. Now, my thing on this story is that I did an update on that story, by the way, and the story had a different perspective. The Officer Hubbard, had a body cam, and they said it turns out that the woman has indeed lied. She claimed that this is what the officer saying, that she was intoxicated. The officer was a gentleman the entire time. He put her in the passenger seat in the patrol car so he won't drag her in the back seat. Now, Cole's attorney came out, released a statement, apologized to the officer after that ordeal. So, Info, your thoughts on that story?
Well, I just got back. I just heard a little bit. So are you trying to say that it's coming out that he did not sexually assault her, or did he? Let's get to the facts, brother.
Okay, yeah, the story was in the beginning that this is her perspective, that she was sexually assaulted by Officer Hubbard. But then it turns out, thanks to his body cam, this is just a new update on it, that his body cam said that the story was not true at all, that she was intoxicated, but the officer put her in the passenger seat because that she won't have to be dragging her in the backseat of his patrol car. And the Cole's lawyer later apologized to the officer because of that ordeal, because that body cam has been released today. So, Info, your thoughts on that story?
What I mean, so the bottom line is she was found not to have, the cop was found not to have had actually sexually assault her. Either he did it or he did not. So that's the question. Did he do it, or is it that now there's a conflicting story? I mean, because I don't know.
But really, Info, is a conflicting story because we all believe that on when News One came out with this story, everybody believed that she was claimed she was sexually assaulted, that she wasn't intoxicated, even though the officer said that she was intoxicated. But then the body cam footage came out, proving on the officer side that wasn't true. So that's what the story was indeed conflicted.
So let's see here. It says reports black woman jailed after alleging being sexually assaulted by state troopers. And you said that the article. Let me see. So the article pretty much. Let me see here, because I have everything on my handheld device that will help me get right into the story even better, closer. And I can read on about this. This is based on a News One report. That's News One report. Let me pull this up, folks. Okay, let me hear. On May 20th, Sharita Dixon claims she was sexually assaulted by a Texas state trooper, identified as an Officer Hubbard. Okay, so we know that. Okay, activist Sean King promoted the story, and Lee Marriott signed up to represent Cole. Now the footage was released of the arrest. It was determined that Cole lied about the assault. King deleted all of his social media postings, and Marriott released the following statement. So let me see what this following statement is all about. This is on Twitter. I'm pulling up the Twitter feed on this. So basically, they're trying to say that this woman made up this story.
That's correct.
So this is a statement that I'm going to read from the law firm. Okay, this is the lawyer that was representing her from Marriott Law Firm. Okay, sexual assault allegations against Texas DPS officer, Washington, Texas. Let's see, Waxchill, Texas. The body cam footage released directly conflicts with the accounts reported in my office. There is no ready apparent evidence. There's no evidence apparently that with the footage of the Officer Hubbard seems to be comported himself professionally during the duration of the traffic stop. An arrest and without more should be cleared of any wrongdoing. It is deeply troubling when innocent parties are falsely accused, and I am truly sorry for the trouble these claims may have caused Officer Hubbard and his family. I take full responsibility for amplifying these claims to the point of national concern. This office regularly receives hundreds of complaints. So basically, in a nutshell, the brother who's a lawyer who was representing her, he wrote this letter to apologize. Let me just say this. We know that in America that police officers do mistreat Black people. We do know in America, let me get off of this story here real quick. But we do know that officers step out of line. They step beyond the reasonable bounds of their duty. And I'm just, what can I say? I just think either something did happen and either this police officer with the protection of the skin tone was able to make it seem like she was a liar, or either maybe she did. But in my reality, I would side on the side of caution, simply because we know that these cops, they lie, they make up stuff. So I'm more inclined to say, let me look back and let me examine this. Now, obviously from that, what I read was the actual letter written by the lawyer who was representing Miss Cole, and he's completely backed out of her case, and they've completely dropped all charges towards this officer. So either someone's telling the truth or someone's lying, and we don't know. And this is a lesson that we all need to learn as we report this stuff on YouTube. And everybody in the chat room, Lions Den, if you can see people in the chat room, brother, go ahead and acknowledge who you see in the chat room. But let's give some respect where respect is due, because there's people that's in the chat room and it's late, and they could be sleeping right now, brother.
Okay, give me 1 second here. All right, info, we got King Wage in the chat room. We got Bobby Bowman in the chat room. We got Nicole Ali in the chat room. We got Makem in the chat room. We also got Clarence Ray in the chat room. We got Jeanette.
Clarence, I want to say, Clarence Ray, I sent you a invite to come into this program, the private invite. So I'm going to send it to you again. And to Nicole Ali, I had a chance to talk to Lowcast today on the way home. And he told me that he wants to do a live stream with me, you, and him, possibly, I guess, going into this weekend. So if you are available, sister, he basically wants to, he's leaving the topics up to whatever we want to talk about. So, sister, if you got anything that's hot button that you want to get into, we're going to do that. We're going to do that hot button issue. We're going to do a little bit of that with Lowcast on his program. I know my brother, honorable brother Oyapo, talked to me this morning. He wants to get the brothers together to address and deal with the issue of lynching. And I'm going to talk a little bit about lynching tonight, just a small tad bit, and give you some statistics as it relates to suicide on an ethnic level, what's really going on. Okay. So I hope Nicole Ali is out there listening. Sister, I love you. You're the best. Make sure everybody that's in the chat room who's new to this stream, new to my channel, make sure you take your black behind and subscribe to Nicole Ali's channel by simply clicking over the hub, clicking her avatar if you're using a handheld device, and subscribe. Also, if you're new to the channel, again, make sure you subscribe to my man Clarence Ray that you see in the chat room. Hopefully he'll come on. I did send him a invite, brother. So you need to check your phone or check your, I'll do it again because I did send you an invite. You should check your devices, brother, at all times. You never know when someone's sending you an invite. So if you see Clarence Ray, check out his channel, subscribe to the brother. We're trying to help this brother out, try to build him up as well. I'm about helping anybody that I can give help to. I'm probably going to get into a little bit of a Q&A over the weekend, maybe even tomorrow, who knows, about how to improve your YouTube channel, some of the bells and whistles. I had a chance to talk to Clarence Ray and my man, Real Aaron Collins, one night on Clarence Ray's platform, and we got into a little bit of this conversation. So I want to thank everybody. Lions Den, with that said, brother, what's the next issue that we should try to tackle a little bit?
Well, the second story is very disturbing. And I also was talking about lynching in 2018, and this next story is basically kind of disturbing in a way. Unidentified woman found hanged from a tree in South Fulton, Georgia, with a suburban part in Atlanta. Police are investigating after an unidentified woman was found hanged to a tree near a Walmart early Monday morning. Police have ruled out foul play. However, they ruled a suicide. This is disturbing info because you notice that in the past, from 2014 to 2018, they've been lynching, but they said the police is using the entire playbook, saying that it was a suicide or it's not a foul play, no evidence of foul play. And it's kind of disturbing because you see all the trend all across the South. So, info, your thoughts?
I mean, go ahead, brother. Go ahead into the details. My thoughts. Let me see. You did a great job on your channel last Saturday when you did a little something on your channel, and you were talking about lynching. One of the things I want to get into is I'm going to remind you guys, and let me see if I could find the clip for this. Just give me a minute. Let me see. Because I don't think we as Black people understand what situation we're in. Some of us do, and some of us are not woke. The reason why this is happening to Black people in America, let me repeat. I hope everybody out there is listening. Let me repeat this. The reason why this is happening to us out here in American society is because we are in a race war. You are living in a prison, folks. Okay, as Neely Fuller Jr. says, the white supremacy is a system, a constructed system, a prison system which to control and which operates off of a system of control. Now, he always says that white supremacy is stronger than any religion on the earth. A religion is comprised by a belief system, a body of people who feed into that belief system, and it's backed up by strong beliefs, strong actions based off of a belief system. And out of that belief system is a system that we must pick with, we must F with, and mess with Black people. This is why Black people are being killed the way they are. This is why we're being lynched the way we're being treated, because we are in a white supremacist prison system. We were born into a prison system that is messing with us. Okay. Now, what's happening is that we need to be aware of this. A lot of us think that what's going on in America is just racism and prejudice. But white supremacy or racism is the byproduct of the white supremacy. Okay. So let me find this. And I hope I can find it. If not, I'm just going to have to check the other. So that's what's going on. We can talk about it till the cows go home. The bottom line is we need to recognize the fact of the matter is, as Black people, we are in a war zone. Okay, we're behind enemy lines, and let me play something for you. It should open up one's mind. I'm going to play it for you, and I hope it gets into your mind. I hope it sinks in, Black people. I hope it impacts your thought process as to what's really going on. Okay? I hope you will wake up and smell the coffee.
I was on the Los Angeles Police Department for 20 years. I was a sergeant of police when I retired. I'm well aware that there are officers within that agency that have biases and preconceived ideas. So no, I'm not surprised to know that somehow white supremacists have infiltrated the ranks of police departments around the nation.
Race and war. There is a conflict. We're talking about this. This is a recipe, many people argue, and I think it's true, for a new form of genocide. The fact that it's always white people at the top and Black people at the bottom, that's phenomenon, that's policy. Those are the consequence of the race war against Black people. Are we in a race war? All right, I have an opinion on that whole subject. You know, there's no equality. You look at the system, it's really designed for us to fail. Are you a white supremacist? I'm absolutely not. I think that's a word that should be required. I am a white advocate and a race war.
When I say this as a police officer, if this stuff happens, I'm not telling the Black community something they don't know. I'm just validating and corroborating what they know to be true. Lived experience.
Our judicial system is not broken. It's operating exactly the way it was designed to operate. This nation was established prior to the idea that it was going to be an extension of Europe. So whites don't like the fact that their neighborhood
Bluetooth
are becoming increasingly not white. White supremacy has to do with
Bluetooth connected.
I'm better than you, and I can, through power, through manipulation, control anything and everything as it relates to anyone else. I am God.
All right, I'm sorry about that, folks. I had some technical difficulties, but basically, you guys, most of you out there, if you're familiar with Jason Black's, he's coming out with Race War. That's a trailer from his Race War. There might have been some faint sound in there, and I'm sorry if you could not hear there. My Bluetooth speaker kind of blinked out on me, and I had to try to plug it up. But by the time I did, it was already coming to the end of the presentation. But basically, in the race war that Jason Black is coming out with, he goes around the country interviewing prominent individuals who have worked in the police department. And they're telling you, as the sister said in the beginning, when you were able to hear it, They're infiltrating into the police force. They've infiltrated our political system. They infiltrated our churches, our schools. They've infiltrated everywhere. So keep in mind, that's what we're dealing with. Keep in mind, that is the reality. And this is why Black people are being hung. This is why Black people are being killed and have been killed and mistreated like this for quite a long time. So we as Black people need to protect ourselves. One of the things that I get sick of is when you see video footage of a Black woman being beaten and mistreated, like that Black woman that was mistreated by that when she was working in some type of Chinese food restaurant. I think Phil of the Avice show talked about this and had the footage. And you had the brother that was filming and saying, "Oh my God, sir, you hit her." But you notice he never did anything really to protect the sister. He sort of got caught up in the fact that he got the footage, right? So Black men, we need to stop sitting around laughing and giggling when our women are being attacked. We need to protect our women. We should not be laughing and giggling when someone white puts hands on our women. So we need to do something. We need to wake up, smell the coffee, and understand that we got to protect ourselves at all costs. And we always potentially a victim of this white supremacy. Now, let me pull up on the screen and give you guys some breakdown and statistics around this racial issue around suicide, because they're always saying that Black people commit suicide. Sandra Bland, they said that she committed suicide when she was dealing with this racist trooper. They said she killed herself while she was incarcerated or in the jail. I believe from seeing the photo, and me and my man Lions Den did a live stream about this. So go back and look at that live stream video. It's on Sandra Bland. It's on my page. Check it out. I showed photos of her, and I believe that the photo that they took of her, the mug shot, whatever the hell you want to call it, it looked like she was already dead. It looked like they had her body on the ground, flat, and they took the picture from up high because her eyes had death in it. It had a lifelessness to it. I think they did some technology on us, and we need to wake up. So let me connect this so that everyone can see this. Everyone can be blessed and presented with this. And I hope everyone can see it, because this is the reality that we're dealing with. So here we got the statistics. Can everybody see that in the chat room? If you can see that, press 1. I want to make sure everything's working. There's no bugs or anything. Clarence, brother Clarence, I send you an invite, brother. If you want to come in, I'll send a link in the chat room. I don't know what's going on, brother. I'm trying to get you in here. I'll send a link in the chat room. Everybody can see that on the screen, so that's good. Okay, let me try to send him a link in the chat room. So that's what you have. I'm gonna go into that article, folks, and I hope everybody out there, everybody can hear us. So that's fantastic. I'm gonna go right into, let me see here what we got going. I'm gonna pull out of this screen right here so you guys can see the article, and let me go into here. Try to make a copy and paste of the link to the show, and hopefully Clarence can bring his butt in here. I don't know what's taking him so long, brother. I've sent the link to you, and now you're getting a link in the chat room. Thank you, everybody, for being there. We got a nice group of people. We got a nice family, nice group of Black folks in the chat room tonight. I see my man KD84. And make sure you hit the likes, folks. I definitely appreciate the support. And if you have any social media, definitely send our content to your social media right now. And like I said, every time I watch you guys' material, I do the same thing now. I just send all your stuff to my social media to promote your show whenever you're on live, especially. So I want to thank you, everybody out there. Lions Den, if you see anybody different in the chat room that we haven't been able to name, can you give a shout out to some of the folks in the chat room that maybe weren't in there before? Go right ahead, brother. Why I get into this article, why I wait till after you're finished, and then I'll get into the article.
Yeah, we got Castle Dragon 7, 8 in the building. We got Cayman in the building. We got Ray Max Kitchen Grill in the building.
What did you say? Did you say Ray Mac?
Yes, Ray Mac is in the building.
Yeah, everybody, that's my man, Ray Mac. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Take your black hands and touch touch that brother's avatar and subscribe to brother Ray Mac. You're gonna love it. He's Ray Mac. Tell me if I hope I'm right about this. You're a chef, brother. You definitely are. You're a great cook. You got a great show. I think I watched him one time. He was fishing for catfish. He caught all these big old catfish. He put some back in the water, some he kept. Then I think over this past weekend, he had a beautiful meal with shrimp. He was at home with his family. He had shrimp. He had rice. Delicious meal. Brother was giving me a lot of love in the chat room, and I appreciate it, Ray Mac. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, brother, you have a restaurant or some type of catering business or something. I got to do more study up on you, brother. So the brother is fantastic. The man makes delicious meals, food. I subscribe to a lot of his followers in the chat room that have cooking programs themselves. So everybody definitely check out Ray Mac. And also Ray Mac, check out my man Underrated Darkness. Underrated Darkness, he does cooking as well. He does organic type cooking. The brother is fantastic. We call him Underrated Darkness, and he does sports. He does a little bit of sports too on his channel. But everybody in the chat room, definitely give Ray Mac some love. Subscribe to his channel because we got to all support each other. Subscribe to everybody. So getting back on topic, and Clarence Ray, if you out there, brother, come on into the program. I don't know where you are. I've given you two links to come in. If anybody else is curious to come in and talk, I welcome you too. If it's a constructive conversation, I welcome you. So let me get into something. I want to remind everybody, this is my background. Besides being a YouTuber, I am a rehab therapist. I've been a rehab therapist for about 16 years. I work in mental health, particularly here in California. I deal with guys in the prison system who have mental health problems. I have dealt with all types of gangs. I've dealt with all types of criminals, from serial killers to murderers to gangbangers to robbers, child molesters, you name it. I have dealt with them. I have looked them in the eyes. Every gang you can think of in the world, I deal with these guys directly in the penal system of California. Now you say, hey, information man, what are you doing working in the prison industrial complex system? Well, when I applied for the job, I didn't know it was a prison, and I particularly applied for the medical department. Okay, so what I do in my capacity is that I try to help these brothers in there, particularly a lot of brothers that are in there that I try to counsel. I try to help them. I do groups with these guys where I try to encourage them not to come back to prison. I give them tools that they need to be successful. I deal with I counsel them on their mental health. I deal with men who sometimes want to kill themselves, okay? I sometimes have to talk them out of trying to kill themselves. I have to talk them out of their homicidal thoughts to harm others. I sometimes deal with men that are gravely ill and they're not taking a shower. They're not taking care of their ADLs, which is the activity of daily living, okay? And so on the DSM-5 or psychology, we look at the Access 1, which is their diagnosis, the Access 2, which is their personality. They're calling behavior personality disorder now. Access 3 is their medical issues, their conditions of their medical. Their Access 4 is around the issue of the environment. Being in prison, being incarcerated will impact you definitely. So this is what I do for a living when I'm not doing my YouTube thing, folks. And so this article that I pulled up here is about racial and ethnic disparities, rates of suicide by race, okay, ethnicity in the United States, 2000, 2016. And this stuff is relevant to 2018. I do have some other article I'm going to pull up for you. Now, I heard when I was listening to Lisa's show, Sister Lisa Carabero, she had a show this past weekend where I heard people saying that Black people, it's just not our thing to go around committing suicide and killing ourselves. This is why Sandra Bland had everything to live for. I don't believe his sister killed herself. I think the police killed her. and they set it up to make it look like she killed herself. Okay. Now let me break this down to you. I'm gonna stroll this up a little bit, folks. Now, suicide rates vary by race and ethnicity. In 2016, the rate of suicide among American Indians, Alaskan Natives was 21.39 per 100,000. And among whites, it was 18.15. Okay, so, and I know something about native people. A lot of times they've been mistreated through drugs, alcohol. They've been put on reservations, so on and so forth. They've got a lot of issues that are going on because they've been dealing with this. They've been dealing with the European as well, and the European has sort of done them wrong as they've done us wrong too. But let me get into this a little bit further. Okay, 18.15%. In contrast to suicide rates among Asian Pacific Islanders was 7.00. So Asians don't really have a temperament to committing suicide. They don't really tend to engage in suicidal behavior. Okay, I'm going to get into that rate that you see down there. Okay, so check this out, folks. The rate for blacks was 6.35, and the rate among Hispanics was at 6.38. So even Hispanics outbeat us in suicide rate. Okay, but between Hispanics or Latino people and black people, we have some of the lowest rates of suicide. Okay, even our suicide risk is even lower than Chinese, which are Asians. Let me correct myself. Asian people that are of the Asian diaspora are at 0%. We're at 6.35%. Okay, and you have among Hispanics 6.38. Okay, now native people 21.39 per 100,000. Okay, and white people are at 18.15 per 100,000. So what that says to me is that historically and figuratively, black people do not tend to engage in suicidal behavior. So this is why when they talk about black people being lynched. Now, Lions Den, can you name just say the names of the incidents that have occurred recently of black people that were found to be hung or hanging, and they're claiming? Name the cases real quick.
Okay, you got an incident in North Carolina. Basically, what happened was the first incident. They found him hanging because he was dating an older white woman, a 31-year-old white woman. So they found him hanging on where it used to be a swing. Used to be one of the swings. The second incident, another guy found hanging in Mississippi that basically was hung by a tree, but reportedly that was suicide. And so that's when you started with 2014, which, like I said, the first one was a suicide that was happening in 2014 when, again, like I said, he was hung by a swing. In 2015, another incident, a black male was found hanging, hanging and also reported suicide. Another incident in North Carolina, which has happened in 2016. She used to go to North Carolina Central University, and they found her hung. And of course, they say they was claiming that it was no foul play and it was suicide there. You know about the Sandra Bland case, and then now this unidentified woman in Atlanta, another brother who was found hanging on a bridge. Which is basically also at the same time that they had a Klan rally in Atlanta. So they claimed that was suicide. And then the latest one that I just reported just a few minutes ago about a girl was found hanging near the Walmart. So all these incidences info prove that it was a lynching, but the mainstream media claims and believe what the police is saying, that it was ruled a suicide or no foul play. So, Info, your thoughts?
No, well, brother, I don't believe. First of all, how the hell, in a lot of these incidents, how the hell did these people hang themselves? How the hell did they get up that high? How could they hang themselves? I mean, there's situations where I can see a person being able to hang themselves at home in their bathroom or something, right? On something that they can actually reach. But when you find these incidents, you find these people in situations where they have been hung in such a way that it had to be impossible for them to physically, not repeat, physically get themselves in that situation to hang themselves. This is just, look. I told y'all folks, I tried to play the race war for y'all. We are in a serious, critical situation in American society. Donald Trump has been elected. As a result, you're not going to like what I've got to say here. Donald Trump was elected president of these United Snakes. And I say United Snakes because the original flag of this country was a symbolism of a snake. Okay, way before they came up with the blue, the white, and the red, okay, and the stars and all that nonsense. Okay, what we have in America today is the white supremacy incarnated and manifested in the leadership of this country. It has been since before we were born, and on and on and on. Donald Trump is the cheerleader. He is the instrument that has given white folks a license to go out and F with people. Remember, we forget during his campaign, he would tell people, rough them up, get them out of here. And you had several people, black folks, that were being roughed up. That should have been enough to rally black people in this country against Trump. That should have been enough to wake people up. But the problem is everybody went to sleep at the wheel. Now, let me kick in your collective behinds. Whatever you feel about President Obama, what he did or did not do, the fact of the matter is President Obama told us during his presidency to go out in the primaries and vote. Remember that year when he kept telling folks to go out in the primaries? And what did we do? People did not go out and vote, and that allowed the corruption, the system to turn on itself. Now, don't get me wrong. I do have my forgivings and my thoughts about voting, and I sometimes feel that voting has not gotten black folks anywhere. Now, don't run away from the channel and say, Info Man, what you talking about? Voting in the civil rights movement, it did a lot of things to change black folks. Let me ask you one simple question. What is the economic state of black people in America? Because the bottom line is you cannot have black power without economic power. Where's our black banks? It seems to me that when we were segregated, we had our own schools, we had our own banks, we had our own doctors, lawyers, mechanics, okay? Hell, beauticians, the whole nine thing. Where's our economic power today? We basically got migrated into a system of white supremacy. We said, you got to be out of your mind, black people. If you're being oppressed by someone and someone knocks on my door that's been oppressing me and says, look, we would like your daughter to come to our school. Why would I want to send my child to be educated by the very people who do not like me? Why would I want to eat at a diner to give my money to people who don't like me? I'd rather give my money to Ray's Kitchen, Grill Kitchen. Okay, Ray Mack, brother Ray Mack that's in the chat room. I'd rather give my black dollar to Ray Mack and go to his restaurant and kitchen and eat his food and eat and pay for something by somebody who made the food with love and cares about me and my well-being as a black person. Why should I give my dollar to someone who does not like me, who hates me and despises me, and still has me on the book as 3/5 human being? Yes, I'm gonna bust y'all bubble tonight. Folks, do you know that black people are still seen as 3/5 human beings and has never been changed off the books? Do your research. Wake up. God damn it. Let me give you some special effects here if necessary, because what's necessary is going to be necessary. Okay? Always necessary. Wake up. Wake up. Smell the coffee or smell the collard greens and wake up, black folks. Get it together. So I side note there a little bit, folks, but I just had to say that. Now, as I read the statistics there, black people do not have a history. We do not have an inherent history or inherent attitude towards suicide and killing ourselves. We just don't do that type of stuff. Damn it. We just don't. That's not our nature. Now, have you had black people kill themselves due to depression, some mental health issues? Hell yeah, it does happen, but it doesn't happen wholesale. Okay, so that's the article there. Okay, now let me pull up another one, and I hope all of you can see it in the chat room. I'm going to double check. Let's see the next article. Suicide rates. There we go. Suicide rates is up. Let me see. I hope you guys can see that. Let me scroll up. Hope that you guys can see that. Can you see that, folks? Yeah, there it is. Great, great. So it's in there. Everyone can see that. I'm going to read this real quick, Lions Den. So right here, suicide rates. Okay. Suicide rates is up 1.2% according to most recent CDC data since 2016. Now, this is new data from the CDC. Okay. The Center for Disease and Control is what CDC means. Okay. Let me read this. Let's see. December 21st, 2017, CDC released the most recent data, okay, related to suicide for the year 2016. According to these data, suicide is still the 10th leading cause of death and rate of suicide in 2016, okay? Increased by 1.2% in 2015, the best year the CDC released the data. It was 44,193 suicide deaths in 2016. There was 44,965 and an increase of 772 additional deaths. Okay. Now, let me get to the juicy part that everybody might be waiting for. Like, what does it has to do with black people? Where do we fall under the line of this? Okay, let me see. Let me see. Because of every suicide is targeted, and the suicide rate in the United States has been steadily increasing for years. The more the public understands about suicide prevention, the more likely they will see the rate of suicide begin to decrease. Now, what was it that I wanted to read? Let me see right here. At the nation's largest private founding of suicide research, we know that the strategy suicide prevention effects can be successful. We have invested in Project 2025. Let's see. What was the one that it was something that I wanted to read related to black people. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go. In the second highest risk age. So let me see. Let me read this properly, folks. Let me see. Men, okay, check this out. Men, this is important for all you brothers in the chat room. Listen to this. Men die by suicide at 3.557% more times than women. Okay, so more times women, we die at suicide more than women do. Usually, statistically, when men commit suicide, we do it very violently. We'll use guns, like shoot ourselves. Women tend to do things like take pills, overdose on pills, take sleeping pills, maybe slit the wrist or something while in the bathtub. These type of things do happen, okay? White women and white males account for 7 out of 10 suicide among people in the mid-age of 45 and 54. The rates of suicide, okay, slightly decrease. Slightly decrease in the second highest risk age category of 85. So people at 85, when they're much older, senior citizens, they have a high risk for suicide. And I remember working at a place when I was dealing with seniors, and we used to have a lot of senior citizens that would jump off of this little walkway. They would jump off of it, trying to kill themselves. It was really crazy. All other age groups increased slightly. Okay, Caucasian. Let's see. Related to race, Caucasian people have the highest rate of suicide. Suicide rates among Caucasian people decreased slightly, but they still have the highest rates. Okay, there was an increase in suicide rate among Alaskan natives, Native American people. More than half of suicide deaths were by firearms, 51% for just under 50% last year. For young people between the ages of 15 and 24, suicide rates is at 13% deaths per 100,000. Okay. And for Black people, suicide rate is very low for Black males, for Black females and males. However, I have seen data that shows that they're trying to say that Black children are now having an increase in suicide. I have to do more research on that because I kind of believe that that might not be as true as they're trying to say, because we know that we're in a race war and they're trying to kill us. And if they're trying to kill us, like in Chicago, they're telling us that there's a high homicide rate and Black folks are killing each other. But we know for a fact that in Chicago, they have a corrupt police department that has a history of going around killing Black people. And I had Sister Ruby on here this past weekend, and there was some buffoonery on my live stream because they didn't want us to get this truth out, where she talked about in San Francisco that the police have what you call a GPS system in their car where the dispatchers can track where they are. So if a police officer pulls you over and mistreats you, you can be able to say, hey, I was mistreated by this cop on this day in question. And they have the ability to see if that cop was in that area at that day and time. But she was telling me that the police in San Francisco were tearing or destroying this device out of their car so that they could not be tracked where they are. She also spoke of when they stopped people in San Francisco, they were doing studies on profiling, and a lot of the police in San Francisco did not follow proper procedure to give the dispatcher the proper number or codes that represent the different race of people that they were harassing or they're arresting. And I say harassing because that's exactly what they've been doing to us, okay? And so she was a dispatcher and she had to quit the job and they were giving her a hard time. She says she still fears for her life because, you know, the police have been, they have bothered her, and she had to quit the job. And she was a dispatcher and she saw all the dirt that they were trying to make her lie. She worked for them for 15 years and this is going on for 15 years that she was there. Okay. So Black people, we don't engage in suicidal behavior. It's not our nature. Now, I got a treat for you tonight. Let me read this too. This is from the CDCR, California Department of Corrections. Let me break down to you the statistics of suicide. Now, most of you in there, guess what? This is what most inmates are dying from in California, in the prison system. Check this out. 82% of prisoners are dying from cancer. 52% are from cardiovascular, meaning chest pain, heart attacks, at 52%. And this is because a lot of these guys have used drugs. They're on all kinds of medications that affect the heart. Okay. Now, 41% of them die from liver disease, which a lot of their livers are destroyed through drug use, alcohol, and using these heavy psychotic medications and pharmaceutical medications that do a lot of damage to their bodies. Okay. 32% of them die from infectious diseases. So like HIV, AIDS. Okay. 29% of them are dying from drug overdose. 29%. Okay. And as far as suicide, 26% are dying from suicide. And about 26% of prisoners in California, those that are incarcerated, are dying from homicide, meaning they were killed by someone. So as you can see, most of the deaths are really centered around cardiovascular, cancer, liver, infectious disease, and on the lower end of the rates is suicide. And as we know, in California, you do have a lot of brothers that are in the prison system. And I'm going to tell you from my firsthand account of seeing this, most Black men that are in prison in California and in general across the country are not in prison because they killed someone. a lot of time it's because of drug possessions, okay? Drug sales. And you've got your man, the one that you called the first black president, Bill Clinton. He put into law the drug laws that put more black men in jail during this time. And now check this out. You even got black men in prison that are in there because of selling marijuana, having a marijuana operation. And now you have white boys selling marijuana, getting rich off of it in Colorado and up there in the great northwest of Seattle, Washington, Portland. They're getting rich. Shouldn't every black man that's in jail right now for marijuana sales and possession, shouldn't they be released, since marijuana is for the most part becoming very legal in some of our states across the country? That's my commentary on that. So what I'm telling you right now, I work in the prison system. I deal in the prison system with guys with mental illness, and the majority of the individuals who commit suicide, even in prison, that are depressed, among even black incarcerated brothers, are white males. White males commit the most suicide activity in the prison system overall. That's the truth. And I got to give it to you with truth. So Lions Den, that's what I wanted to say about that report. So that's what I got to say, brother. I don't believe that these black folks that they have found around the country in this situation killed themselves. I think they were killed by the usual suspect. As Neely Fuller Jr. always says, anything happening to black people in this society, the white supremacists are always the usual suspects. Always.
Well, I agree with you on that info. And I think that it's proven time and time again that African Americans in this country, and we've been taught we never kill ourselves. And with that being said, like I said before, all this, we're proven in 2018 that lynchings is indeed happening. But again, the mainstream media is sweep that under the rug, said no, it was a suicide, which that was a blatant lie. Obviously, that is proven that we've been lynched by white supremacists, by the Ku Klux Klan. It's been started by 2014 to 2018. It's been lynching, but they still sweep that story under the rug by the mainstream media. So it proves time and time again that black people in this country need to wake up. It shows that lynching is still going on. And people say, well, this is happening in the 30s and the 40s. But this is the evidence, this is the proof, time and time again, that suicide in the African American community are lower than any other race combined. So to prove that this isn't a suicide, is to prove that.
Well, let me just say this: you can never say terms like something's proven until you have facts. I simply read the facts of the statistics off. Okay,
right.
That statistically, black people, and we got KD84 on the chat with us, and brother, we're gonna get to you so you can bless us with some words. I've simply brought up the statistics to show that even white people in their own statistics, that black people, we do not tend to engage in suicidal behavior. And when we do, we don't always tend to successfully kill ourselves. And I see this, look, at my 16 years working in the system with guys that have these kind of problems, I have seen hundreds over the years, and I'm talking about hundreds of guys that have come through the system and cycled in and out, okay? The majority of the black incarcerated individuals, brothers, that I see that are depressed, stressed, and say they want to kill themselves, a lot of times they don't do it, okay? They've had incidents where they do, a lot of times they'll do what we call suicidal gestures, put a little noose around their neck, and then they wait till the staff gets to their cell door, and then they hit the alarm and say, hey, we got a guy that's suicidal here, right? But for the most part, what I've seen is that I've seen more white incarcerated individuals engage in suicide at the prison level. And the reason why I bring this up, because that's the most stressful circumstance to be in your life, is to be incarcerated, okay? And so black folks, we don't tend to do these sort of things. Now, there's some of us that have done this, but it's just not our mode of operation, baby. White people have this. So whenever I hear about lynching or a black person supposedly killing themselves, I always look at it with a third eye. I examine it with a third eye, the pineal gland, baby. And I always examine it with a third ear. Listen, watch, observe. Always ask when, how, and where, and why. Investigative type questions, black people. Always. And when we get this type of news from our enemy, never believe what they say until you do your own examination and evaluation. Always. Because the most dangerous thing in America, and Dr. King said this, is sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Now, with that said, before we go into other articles, KD84, do you have anything to bless us with, brother? Unmute yourself. All right. KD84, if you hear me, unmute yourself, brother, and bless us with some words.
Well, hello, Info Man. Hello, Lions Den. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, doing wonderful, brother. Glad to have you.
Well, good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, fellas. To really speak on this, this whole black men being incarcerated, really with no reason at times. We gotta look into this thing called the prison industrial complex. There is a money motive being played here. Now pay attention. They always look at us as the most strongest group of men in the world, that, you know, we're superior in athletics, we're superior, you know, pretty much in physical strength and everything. We're being used as part of a slave trade, even in prison. That is a very important thing. Now, Lisa Cabrera linked all these corporations, and then you look at the prisons. Who filling up the prisons? Black males. What is black males there to do? Provide free slavery or free labor to these corporations. Now, if every black male or innocent black male were to be released or leave prison, all of these corporations would crumble.
Well, you don't even, brother, let me just break it down to you. You don't have to go as far as talking about what corporations are involved in these companies that contribute to our incarceration, brother. All you got to do is study the corporations who brought us over here in slavery. You can go further than that, because it was these corporations that built the slave ships. Most of the cities, like in New York, Chicago, wherever you have ports, those cities were grown and developed because of the slave trade, because it needed people to do what? Produce clothing, food for the slaves when they came, for our people when they came over. You had to have people to build the boats. It became a $1 million industry. So when you talk about our incarceration, you can go back to the corporations that are alive today, that are around today, making millions of dollars and billions of dollars a day, that were investing in our enslavement, not just our incarceration, hell, our enslavement. And those companies still are around today. I'm taking it deeper than that, because we got to remember, we came over here in shackle slavery. We're in a prison system. And part of that prison system is to do what? To F with us. The corporations that we support and have been supporting, not only do they support us in incarceration, but they were in support of our portation to this country under the slave system, or being packed in like sardines. So let's go deeper than just, well, incarceration. We are incarcerated. Even us walking around who can go to a job every day and get in your car. You think because you can go to a ball game that you're free. No, you in prison, brother, because any of us that get in our car can be stopped by the wrong cop and be mistreated. Any of us that walk in the wrong neighborhood. Look, as a black man or a black woman, we can't even get in our car and drive across this country without being concerned that we're driving through sundown cities. You best to be out of here by sundown, Negro. So what I'm saying to you is, yes, they have invested in our incarceration, but we got those that are inside the prison system and those of us that are walking outside that are still in a prison system, but we just don't know it because we haven't woken up. We haven't used our pineal gland, our third eye. Wake up and smell the collard greens.
Well, you can also point to the entire education system that has been fed to us as well. What is the main thing? Go to school, get a piece of paper in order to get a job. That is another form of enslavement.
You're absolutely right, KD84. I love you. You always put it down with truth. You're right. There's no doubt about it. But I think I believe, and I've said this, there's only a small percentage of our people who are woke or who are aware of what's happening. And a larger part of us are asleep at the wheel. They're still taking that blue pill. And this is going to probably come down harsh tonight on some people, but I just don't think we're going to be able to save all Black people. No, because some of us. Go ahead, brother.
And to respond to that, I'm not really interested in saving all Black people. For those that want to stay docile and be Negropeans, I say leave them alone.
Thank you for that word. Thank you. Yes. I think we have to come to a reality that we're not going to be able to save everybody. And not everybody's probably worth saving. Okay. Now, that sounds harsh because it makes it sound like, well, how can you judge somebody? Yes, I'm judging because we just can't. We need to invest in people who want to build something for our people versus people who want to backstab us and they want to coon. We just can't afford it. We just cannot afford it. I think you would agree. Lionsden, what are your thoughts before we go into the next article you've got, brother?
I agree with both with what you're saying. I think the problem is that, like you guys are saying, that people's not awoke yet. They still asleep. And obviously that we have to make sure we got to continue telling them what is happening so that if they do decide to wake up, it's about that time now. Like you said, we can't save anybody because they already made up their minds what they wanted to do. So what we have to do is we still got to continue to speak the message. If they agree on what we're saying, and if they know if they know that they're ready to wake up, then guess what? They're gonna wake up. But see, like you said, sometimes we just have to leave them alone for those who don't want to wake up, and basically just focus on the people that do want to learn what's going on with our people.
And I say this again, I mean, what Infoman said was not harsh at all. It's the actual truth. Yeah. And the reason I state it as the actual truth, because we had this choice a long time ago. People today have smartphones. If it takes Infoman to tell this docile person to go Google their own oppression, they're not really interested in being woke. I'm sorry, but they are not.
But then also you have to understand too that you got Black conservatives that don't want to wake, don't want to be awoken. They're gonna believe what they want to believe. So that's what I'm saying. That people that believe in that, we need to basically distance themselves from them and focus on the people that wants to learn or wants to believe what we're saying and what we focus on.
I agree with you, Lionsden. This is what I want to say to that. One of our downfalls has been this tribalism system that we've been under that's been used to destroy us. I'm going to tell you what, at the end of the day, you can take away conservatism, you can take away liberalism, you can take away I'm this religion, I'm that religion. When you wake your Black behind up in the morning and you take your clothes off and get in the shower and you're butt naked as you were when you came into the world, what are you when you look in the mirror? You're a Black person. You're a melanated individual. You're not a Republican. You're not even this religious. You're not even the religion that you believe. You are a black person. You are a dark mattered individual. You come from out of dark light. Okay? And you come from darkness into the light. You are a black being.
Well,
so therefore, when we strip it all down to the very basics, we're more than these damn labels that we want to put on ourselves. I don't care about black conservatives. They're caught up in the political system and buck dancing and kissing the ass of those who want to oppress them. I could care less for them. I don't give a damn about the Republican, the Democratic Party. Both parties have been the destruction. Now, why do you think they use the ego as the symbol when it comes to politics? Because the ego spreads its arms wide and it represents the left wing and the right wing of the political system, which is why there's never been a third party in this country to be successful, because this country was never set up for a third party system. Now, I hear black folks all the time talking about, if we can just get a third party, we can. No, brother. Look. Why is it that you don't hear the Asian populations, not even the Middle Eastern populations? You got a lot of Arabs that live in the Dearborn, Detroit, out there where you at, KD84, Dearborn, I believe, if I'm wrong or right. And,
yes, you're right.
And why do we have all these other ethnic groups that are in this country and you don't hear them saying anything about, you don't hear them woofing and crying about politics, and you don't hear them talking about what is the Chinese caucus going to do? What is the Arab caucus going to do? What do they all have in common? They've got their own damn businesses. They got their own damn communities. They cater to their own community. They buy from each other. And look at us as black folks. We can't even maintain the damn beauty industry, which we created. We got Asians selling us our own damn sporting wave, Afro sheen, hair, horse hair, okay, for the horse hats that women like to wear, okay? We've got Asian people selling us every goddamn soul brother product that's been produced. And we used to, when I was a kid, we used to run and control the industry. And so what I'm saying to you, the answer to our salvation was always economics. It was never this BS about let me eat at a counter. I don't give a damn about eating a ham sandwich next to someone of another race in a damn other restaurant. I feel just fine eating a damn sandwich next to my own people. Now, and I say that. I said it. That's damn right. If you don't like it, you know what? Bovine excrement to you.
And what Infoman is pretty much stating is that what they had was infrastructure. Infrastructure trumps politics every single time. And the goal of infrastructure can sometimes influence politics.
Yes, brother, you're on the money. Yes, 100%. And impacts politics. I mean, Lions, then what's the next story you want to go into? We got the NFL with their nonsense. We know about the situation in Oakland. They're going to be having in Oakland, California. And I saw the Royal Queen doing her stream today. They're going to be doing these ongoing barbecues in a consistent protest of what that cave woman did in Oakland. Mm-hmm. And damn it, I'm thinking about going down there one of these weekends when I have the time free to join my people down there. I'll probably run into a lot of my friends out there. What do you want to touch on, brother? We got that story. We got the family that you talk about, the family that demands the answers after man was chased down and strangled by another one of these white supremacist cops. Or do
let me start.
You want to start with that? Okay, I'm going to put that on the screen.
First.
I'm going to put that on the screen for everybody to see the article, or at least a little bit of the article. And I think, wait a minute, Lions, and I think it might have a video that goes with it. I think I might play the video. What is this?
Okay.
The video. The black man was reportedly chased. I think I'm going to try to play the video with this too. So let me get this attached to the screen. KD84, you got anything else you want to say? And anybody that's in the chat room, I did drop a link. If you want to come in and join us, you're welcome. Let me connect this. Go right ahead, brother. Go
the
right
main
ahead,
thing I
K-Diddy,
wanted
for
to
it.
well,
Go
the
ahead.
main thing I wanted to say was, adding to infrastructure and everything, and then how it influenced politics and everything. If we could just get back to a small portion of that, I think we could get the ball rolling. I mean, all this talk about, I want to go back to what Lions Den said about black conserv. I mean, those people are already docile Negropeans. I've already forgot about them. I'm more focused on rebuilding our infrastructure. That's all I care about at this point. Whoever's with us is with us. Whoever's not is not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Let me
true.
let me go ahead and see if I can play this video for everybody in the chat room. Lions Den, do me a favor, brother. Once again, give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Call out anybody that's new or anybody that's still in the chat room supporting us, brother. Give the people
Okay, got
some
you.
acknowledgement.
Yeah, I see Sonya Seeds is in the chat room. King Wade is in the chat room. Brother Dubian's in the chat room. Belize Renegade Riders in the chat room. Makem is still in the chat room. And that's so far. That's it.
Okay, can you read? I think Macon wrote a nice little. She said another factor is that many Asians have a base to help them. I'm talking about Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, etc. Unfortunately, blacks don't have support from other yeah, that's true. The Chinese have a base. You know why? Because they have a country that they can go back to. They know where they come from. They know what clan they're from, whatever. Black people, and we've been lost in North America. A lot of us are trying to find ourselves. We're trying to find, where do I come from? Some of us don't know where we come from exactly in the continent of Africa. Some of us don't give a damn because we've been taught to hate self and kind, so on and so forth. So she's right about that. Lions Den, if there's anybody else in the chat room that you can read their comment while I crank this up, if this thing cranks up, I'll tell you to stop so people can hear this audio.
Okay, yeah. I'm reading in the chat room that Belize Renegade Riders, and she was saying that East Asia is black. And I'm reading, Brother Dubian has said that what's the objective of the barbecue?
All right, Lions Den, stop. Can everybody hear? Can everybody hear in the chat room? Let me play this. Play this back again. I'm hoping that everybody can hear this. I'm going to enlarge the screen. I don't know if everybody will be able to hear it, but this thing is, I think it's trying to buff up. A little bit of a commercial there. Sorry, folks, for the commercial.
This is absolutely extraordinary. I'm here at Billings Farm in Woodstock, Vermont. Now, if cave diving, hiking, or a rope obstacle course is too much for you and your journeyman, you can always slow it down a bit by visiting a piece of rural American history. Now, here at Billings, they have about 60 cows here at any one given time. And as you can see, they're really, really friendly. Interaction with the animals.
I'm going to try to bypass this because I want to get into the incident. Hopefully it takes me right into the incident. Okay, what do we have? Wonder, where's that case with that young man? I guess they're not putting it on here. Let me stop this. Let me stop this. So anyway, Lions Den, I thought that I could play the video to this, brother, but for whatever reason, it didn't come out like I thought. You got a little commercial there, the brother out there with the break down the article to folks and what's going on with this case. I'm gonna stroll this back up here.
All right. The family of victim who was chased by police was choked to death that wanted answers. Kevin Robinson's death has been ruled a homicide, according to Jefferson Parish Coroner's Office, Dr. Jerry Kotanovich in New Orleans, after a black man was reportedly chased down by police and strangled in the backyard of a home. In a case that eerily similar markings to the Stephon Clark killings, Robinson was pronounced dead while in custody. of Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. Detectives reported in New Orleans. Police were pursuing the 22-year-old Robinson, who was believed to be a part of a drug investigation. The 4 detectives involved in the suspicious arrest have been reassigned to administrative duties pending outcome in this investigation. So it looks to me, Info, we have another Stephon Clark situation. The only difference is he was choked to death by police, not shot 20 times. So, Info, your thoughts?
I mean, I don't have any thoughts on it, brother. Like we've been saying, my only thoughts is what we're facing. We're in a system of white supremacy. This is why this is happening. I mean, and then once again, like I said, we have to learn to examine these situations a little bit more deeper when they happen. A lot of times, and I'm guilty of this too, when something happens where we're reactive, we need to examine what's happening. Now, we know the basics of what I'm saying is this is happening to us because we are in a prison system. And this is just, if we as Black people can just sink our minds into that reality and understand that being the reality, we're going to have to deal with this accordingly. We got to protect ourselves. We got to watch our back at all times where we go. We can't be doing things that put us in the crossfire. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we're in a situation where we are a target. You remember Public Enemy? They had a logo. Their logo was sort of that. It was sort of the crossfire logo. That's what we're in.
Yeah.
They were so right about that. They were so right about that. We're in the crossfire, brother. And I wish I had an answer to what you said. I wish I could say, hey, this is gonna go away, but it ain't gonna go away because we're just in a bad system of white supremacy.
The only problem I see in this story is that when you have 4 detectives that chase him down, and it's like I said, it's similar to the Stephon Clark case when he was killed behind the backyard of his home, and still the investigation in this case is still continuing. However, but at the same time, I guess the similarities is that what can a person do? We can't really. It's really funny that they're saying that because of the drug investigation, he's involved in a drug investigation, but realistically, you killed an unarmed man again, and it's and again, I agree with you, Info. It's like we're in a pattern of the same old playbook that he's involved in drugs, or he had a past, he had a criminal past. It's like a similar playbook. So it's like you said, it's just like a broken record that we can hear in time and time again, that unarmed Black men been murdered for no apparent reason. So, Info, again, that is just another scenario, another story of another young man being murdered by police for basically for really nothing.
This is I think we need to just come to a grip and realize this is the life, this is the world that we live in. This is what's happening. And so we need to prepare ourselves properly for this reality. And that we need to realize that these are not isolated situations, which mean this can happen to us. We could be in the crossfires of someone harming us the same way. A lot of times we'll read these articles, we'll say, hey, that's a shame what happened, it's wrong. And then we'll drink our coffee, sip our wine, our tea, and we go on about our day. But we got to keep in mind that every time we as Black men go outside our front door, or Black women, or our Black families, we are always at risk for this same type of buffoonery, this same type of racism to come our way, because we don't wake up looking for someone to mess with us. We can say that here on YouTube, we can all testify that we conjugate together, and yet they always are messing with our sound systems, our audio, because they just can't stop. They can't stop leaving us alone.
Yeah.
And so, if anybody else would like to come into the chat room, If you have anything you want to add to our conversation this evening, I'll leave another link in the chat room. I was looking for Brother Ray, Clarence Ray to come in. I saw him in the chat room. I don't know why the brother didn't come in and bless us with some words. I wanted to talk to him. So where is he? I tried to send him a chat. I tried to send you the link, brother. You should have come in. But anyway, I tried to get the brother in, but that's what we're looking at right now. So let me see. Let's read some of these things. We got my man here, Renegade. I hope African Americans fight back against white devils. We Caribbeans hate seeing Black Americans getting hung in the United States. That's right. That's right, brother. We are getting hung. We have been getting hung for many years in this country, but we just have to look at that. These are the signs of the last days that we're living in under the system that we're in. And we're just going to have to realize that we're in a race war. The term racism is so out of date right now. We should be saying every day, I'm in a race war. That's what we are in. You know, racism is just a byproduct of the race war that we're in, folks. For everybody in the chat room that's been hanging with us, thank you. Lions Den, can you give them a little love, brother, and announce who's in the chat room again?
Yeah, like I said, Castle Dragon 78, Brother Dubian, Sonia Seeds is in the building, King Wage is in the building, and so far, COG, Conscious of Genocide, is in the building. That's basically it so far.
We got Dark Void, Castle
yeah,
Dragon 78. Thank you for being here. And we got my brother. I never can say his name. He's got one of the ranches that I put on him. Denubian. How do I pronounce that? You see that, Lions Den?
Denubian.
Denubian. Now I can acknowledge this brother. God darn. Denubian. I'm so sorry, brother. I'm bad with names. Y'all just gonna have to face it. I'm bad with names. But Denubian, let me give you some love, brother. Many times I have not said your name out loud. Denubian, thank you for being with me. You've been supportive, brother. That's why I gave you the ranch. And I want to thank you, brother, for supporting what we're doing here tonight. So much love to you. I had a chance to check out my man, Food, Clothing, and Shelter. And and he went on to with Twitch. And on Twitch, you can have multiple streaming on multiple. You can have your stuff on YouTube, Twitch, all this stuff at the same time. So I'm thinking about, I think I have a Twitch account already. I think I'm going to create a Twitch account and start putting some stuff over there. But the most important thing that we need to be supporting is Black Junction TV. So folks, if you are a this is my commercial right now. If you are a content creator, go over to Black Junction TV and support the channel and also create your own channel over there. 2, if you have not heard of Brother Keith Newsom of the Black Hot Fire Network, Black Hot Fire, he always says. The brother is deeply into Africa. He has an app that you can download on Google or Android so you can listen to him. The brother's deep. He gets into the anthropology of Black people. He gets into the science. He gets into the DNA, everything he gets into. So definitely check out Keith Newsom's channel. Subscribe. I love the brother. He's a mentor to me. And I think True Royal Family knows him personally. She's talked to him. She talks to him a lot. And he's good. He's a good brother. He means well for our people. So definitely check him out. Definitely subscribe to the real Aaron Collins. Subscribe to Nicole Ali. Subscribe to my man KD84, who's in the chat, who's in the panel with us right now. KD84, you got anything you want to bless us with?
I just want to tie into one thing as far as the slave catchers and the relationship, our relationship with them. They're basically here to protect the cave beast and serve us blacks with all types of negativity, because of the fact that we're not really citizens in this country. So I just broke down the real narrative of the whole protect and serve narrative there.
Thank
They
you, brother.
protect the cave beast, but they serve us with violence.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. Boy, you said a mouthful. You said KD84, brother. I've got to do something for you right now. I'm going to bless you with the respect of giving you the clap that you deserve, brother. You deserve this. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Start it over again. Here we go. That's for you, brother, if you heard that clapping.
Thank you.
Okay. Lions, then let's get into the next article. We've got the situation with the NFL. So let me throw that up real quick for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get into that discussion about what's going on with the NFL these days. Oops, let me see. There we go. Right there. Let me connect that to the proper situation here. Bam. Oh, no, right there. And let's share that with everybody. Okay. So there we have it, brother. Boom. So the NFL considers 15-yard penalty for kneeling during the anthem reports right now. What are your thoughts, Lions? Then you're a big sports buff.
Yeah, I just did a video about that, and I'm gonna tell you this. This is going to make a division of fans across this country for a couple of reasons. One, you basically and the info they did this privately. They had a private meeting with owners. What they did was they're concerned that players is going to take a knee. And see, this is because after the Colin Kaepernick, you know that the Colin Kaepernick and your boy Eric Reed still haven't signed with the team yet. Because of this, it was because of this taking a knee and of course the anthem protest. It's basically goes to show info that the NFL, the owners, is pleasing their sponsor, they're pleasing the one side of the fan base, and don't care about their they don't even care about them protesting which is racial injustice, police brutality, and they always focus on what's the flag, it's the troops, it's the military, and not why Colin Kaepernick kneel in the first place. And so the NFL basically decided, well, what they do is they can sit in the locker room before going out there and take a national anthem. But if they get caught taking a knee during the national anthem, it's 15-yard penalty for their team. So, Info, your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the players failed the movement that Colin Kaepernick was trying to orchestrate. I think they failed. And what do I mean by that? And the fact that they sold out the movement. They sold it out for what? The NFL gave them what? $83,000, $83 million. That's right. $83 million. They sold it out. And look, this is the bottom line, brother. The players the brothers in the NFL did not really take a knee wholesale until Donald Trump said something, and their slave master owners of the team told them, okay, now you Negroes can go out there and kneel because I told you so, because I don't like what Trump said about my business. And white men do not like people telling them about their damn business. And Trump did that, and they said, oh no. And then every goddamn player did what? It goes back to what Malcolm X says. The house nigga, when the master got sick, he said, what's the problem, boss? We sick. When the house caught on fire, the house nigga prayed for rain. He prayed for snow. The field Negro prayed for the master to die and prayed for wind to make the house burn down. I'm telling you that the NFL is a slave plantation. Now, we did a video about that too some time ago, Lions Den, me and you, about the plantation mentality of the NFL. And these guys did not take a damn knee wholesale and for what Colin Kaepernick was talking about until Donald Trump opened up his mouth, started talking bad about them. And then the owner said, okay, Negroes, y'all can take a knee. This man that you see on here on this picture, Eric Reed, was rocking with Kaepernick from the very beginning when nobody else. Colin Kaepernick said he did this because of the fact that the flag was not representing what was happening to black people in America, particularly black males being shot by cops. None of these black football players took a knee wholesale because of that. It wasn't until Donald Trump opened his mouth, you see? And guess what I think is going to happen? I think every one of these buck dancing, football playing, O.J. Simpson type Negroes are going to do exactly what the slave master says, which is, Negroes, if you try to take a knee, I'm going to penalize your team. This is just another way to tell black men to stay in their place. And that place is to play football, run around the field like a gladiator. And I told you this in our video that we did a long time ago, that everything about sports is akin to that movie Django Unchained, the scene when you had the two black men fighting, the two bucks as they would call them back then, fighting. And you had the white men talking about, get him, nigga, fight. And they had black men fighting each other. And we're still fighting each other today. Black men were made to fight each other then, and we're still fighting each other today. Why? Because this has been culturally conditioned in us from the slave plantation. When white men own the teams and black men play on the field, and white men sit in the luxury box, and they're saying to themselves, look at my niggas on the field playing football for me, making me money. And I'm giving, and the owners of the teams give them what they chump change money in their contracts, which ain't nothing but all they're getting is high level cornbread. Okay. He gives them their high level cornbread, which is the currency that they make. And then they go out into the world and look down on me and you because we ain't living the high life like they are. And they think that they're better than us because they got a fancier car and they got a lot of money in their pocket and they got so-called fame. That's how divide and conquer is created. That's the seed in the scientific system of white supremacy. And you got politics, and I call it politricks. Technology. That's why I believe that the black man in the NFL is going to adhere to the slave master's rules. And you'll probably have only a few people that will stand up when many will not, because they're concerned about their what? The bottom line. I got to make this money. I got to keep this lifestyle that I'm living up.
Yeah, info. It's like basically, but it's all started. You have millions of dollars from the U.S. military with the national anthem, with the flag, as they said. But then they don't know what the national anthem represented. And the national anthem, in my opinion, and we all agree here, that from Francis Scott Key in the third verse, when he endorsed and support the killing of black slaves. But the media is downplaying that. And the NFL is also downplaying that, saying, well, this is about the military. This is about, but remember, Colin Kaepernick took the knee, and guess what? From a military person. Remember, when Colin Kaepernick first, he was sitting out during the national anthem until a military guy told him to take a knee out of respect for the U.S. men and women across the country that fought across the country. So Colin Kaepernick said, okay, I'll take a knee. It's all started with that, but still people are misinformed on why Colin Kaepernick doing what he's doing, taking a knee for racial injustice and police brutality. But now the NFL saying, well, we're going to go ahead and let you, if y'all want to protest, you can go ahead and stay in the locker room. And then during the national anthem, you got to stand up and take a stand and put your hand in your heart and do the national anthem. But then they just swoop the message away what Colin Kaepernick really did in the first place.
The message was diluted, and that was the whole objective, to dilute the message and to stop them from uniting. You know, if all these you know, if all these black players in the NFL say we refuse to play football if you guys put this rule on us, we refuse to play football if you cause this problem for us, guess what would happen? They would lose money, and all these fat, overweight white men who go to these football games, who get up in the stands getting drunk, and they call us drunks, would be no more football for you, no more. If black people, look, man, if black people were to simply disappear and go to another planet and just leave this place, this damn place would be so boring without us. Why they wouldn't know what to do with themselves without us, Lions did in KD 84.
That's true.
KD 84, you got anything you want to bless us with around this subject matter?
I'm gonna go back to this whole spiritual component of this. Basically, what you got going on is basically Lucifer offered these sellouts a plate, and they took it and ran with it. And as soon as they took it and ran with it, now they got fat and happy. Now when you look at the end of days and everything, now the enemy is getting ready for the kill. And this ain't just for athletes. This also applies to entertainers of all types. Once the enemy pulls the plate back and pretty much leave them to their own defenses, this is when all these athletes and celebrities pretty much meet their doom. It is spiritually predicted that all these sellouts, they'll meet their fate one way or another. They can sit there and take all those little, all those places that Lucifer's offered them and eat good, fat and happy. But the truth is, the Most High is dealing with those sellouts right now. And as soon as they're done, they're going to meet their fate, and y'all's going to take that plate away from them. And what's going to happen? They're done.
You're right about that, brother. I have to agree with everything that you said, brother. Absolutely. Anybody else in the chat room, if you want to join us, I did put 2 links in the chat room. If you have anything that you want to say about this issue, you want to add, let me see. I think we might have another article about an issue that Lions Den may want to touch on. Oh, let's go into one of my favorite ones. Well, favorite in terms of black people standing up in Oakland. And let me click this into the Google so everyone can see it. It can be shared for everyone to see. And here we go. Okay. And let me go back to there. Present it to everyone. Okay. It's presented to everyone. I hope everyone can see this. Now, I know that True Royal Queen did a live stream pertaining to this today. So shout out to True Royal Queen and everyone that supports her. Oakland, California hosts massive barbecue black festival at Lake Merritt. Now, I lived in Oakland for 10 years and in San Francisco for 26 years. I remember the festival at the lake, and I think True Royal Queen spoke about that earlier today. And it was a fantastic festival, but it got messed up because, once again, you get black folks congregating together who can't get along with each other, and then we ruin something that's for us. This always seems to work out that way. We got to stop fighting each other. We got more enemies that are more dangerous to our circumstance than fighting each other. So we got to stop fighting each other. And I would say stop hating on one another on social media. It's just buffoonery. So let's scroll down. Let's go over here. I know you guys all saw this earlier today. And you got the has my business for life via, you got the barbecue. Look at that beautiful barbecue right there. Folks are taking pictures. All right, it's the beautiful barbecue. I'm going to play this. I think this is the sister right here. I got my sister right here. Let's see, woman who filmed. Let me click this so y'all can see her. Boom. So I enlarged the picture. So this is the woman right here. You guys are familiar with her. I know True Royal Queen got into it. The woman who filmed the Oakland, California barbecue, Becky, speak out. So here she is right here, Michelle Sanders, the woman behind the camera who confronted a fellow white woman after she called the police on Snyder. Now, why is this? See, there they go with their trickery. Okay, let me see. Let me get this working right. Here we go. So She called the police on Snyder's husband and his friends using a charcoal at the Oakland, California Lake Merritt Park. Took to YouTube Sunday to answer the questions everyone has been wondering. Did she get her card back? Snyder, a YouTube video taken 2 weeks ago, has more than 2 million views so far, and probably another million of women now known as the Barbecue Becky. Now, I heard the True Royal Queen, KD84, say today that she's got this woman's address, that people in Oakland know where this white woman lives. Is that true? KD84, can you hear me? Did you mute yourself? Okay.
Yes, that is true.
That's true. Okay. This is crazy. 2 weeks ago. So basically the sister, right? Oh, let me play this little video right here. I hope that we can all hear it. If you can hear the video in the chat room, family, put 1 when I play it and tell me if you can hear it when I hit this little play right here. So here we go. Let's see if we can play this. See if it'll give us a connection. Oops. And I know you guys saw this earlier today, so I'm probably playing what you've already seen. So I know you guys all saw that. Kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Can you hear the audio, everybody? Let me see if everybody can hear the audio in the chat room. If you can hear the audio, press 1. Okay, great. You can hear the audio. I love it. Now, I know that True Royal Queen played this, but I'm just playing it for the purpose of the situation because there she is talking, huh? So I'm going to stop it here because I know most of you were watching True Royal Queen's rendition of the same video and webpage. And I know that she talks very low in her voice tone. And I know a lot of you are up on this video. So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just wanted to give you a little taste of that. So I'm going to get out of this for right now. Let me see. I'll probably come back for myself personally and examine what she had to say a little bit more in detail for myself. But this is we all know about the situation. Let me see if I have to click out of here and go right back to the original page. Thank God it went back to the original page without any glitches. So let's let that come in. So what are your thoughts, Lions Den? What they're having in Oakland is that they're planning to have these barbecues like every weekend now because of what this woman did. So it's become, she basically emboldened our people. She basically woke us up, and black folks in Oakland have turned up, as the True Royal Queen would say. And I like this. This is what we should be doing every time these people try to F with us. We should be coming together and working together and fight the power, as the Public Enemy would say back in the day. What do you think?
Let me start out with this. I mean, I'm very happy that it happened. I'm glad that people will finally come together and do this barbecue and showing that we will not allow racism and hatred affected what they're doing. And one thing about it, if I did not, I have no idea that she was a white woman until you played that video. I have no idea that it was her. I thought it was a sister, but kudos to her. I have no, like I said, I had no idea. Seriously, I had no idea. But kudos to her for doing what she's doing to prove that, you know, all of this is total nonsense of what that
wait, brother. Let's correct something now. You had no idea that it was a white woman that was harassing the black people at the barbecue?
No, I mean, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I had no idea that white woman harassing the white woman that chasing her down like she did. I did not know that was her.
Yeah, that was her, but she's not a white woman.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
Come on now, brother. Let's get our research together here now. No, she wasn't a white woman. I mean, she's obviously, you know, a sister that, you know, very fair skinned sister. I mean, you know, we got black folks that come in all these different shades and stuff. But in the case, that's the woman, the black woman who was asking for her card back and was filming her. And what you saw was another perspective. You got a chance to see her physically walking around this white woman. And I know the video that she did, the YouTube video, she's very fair skinned, you know, has that sort of look, but she identifies as black. And, you know, I lived in Oakland. We got a lot of black women that look like that in Oakland, California. So,
but kudos to her, though. I think I'm very happy that she did what she did. You know, to prove a point that we need to come together as a community to prove that we, as a society, shouldn't have taken from anybody that racism and hatred shouldn't have happened. You know what
you're
I mean?
right.
So
you're absolutely right, brother.
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay. No. I give you all respect to that, brother. Yes. I just like I like that anytime that something happens to us, we have to come together as a people. We only have each other. Black folks, just keep this in mind. Nobody likes us. Okay.
Right.
I heard True Royal Family say this, that we have to start keeping people of other races accountable for their racism towards us, whether it be Asians, Latinos, Arabs, because we get racism from both angles. We get it from white folks historically. We're getting it from Asian folks and other races out here, man, that are giving us coming over this country and treating us like shit. We built this damn country for most of these other groups to come over here and benefit from. They've been riding off of our coattails. They've been riding off the coattails of civil rights. They've been riding off the coattails of being able to get into school, because these laws that were put in place were for black people because of what was happening to us uniquely. Now you have Asians and Latinos and other race of people, East Indians, who can get into school and can get the benefit of the affirmative action programs and various programs that are for minorities, right? They're benefiting from something that our ancestors are the ones that gave their life to have. Let's not forget that. So that's why whenever you get these types of groups that disrespect you, don't take any disrespect for them. That's why that sister that was working in that Chinese restaurant, when that Chinese man, that Asian man put her hands on her, and then you got that Negro filming, but at the same time he was filming, he did nothing. And yet her ancestors, our ancestors, are the ones that make it possible for that Asian man to have a store, a restaurant on this damn ground, which our ancestors sweat blood till you can't sweat no more. Do y'all hear me out there in the chat room? Press 1 if you hear and dig what I'm saying. And KD84, bless us with some thoughts.
3 things that are happening right now. The resurrection of the Black Panther spirit amongst the Black community in Oakland. That is very apparent. Number 2, I see the local economy booming with all those future trips to the supermarket to have those cookouts. And what this is going to do is keep the Black people in Oakland as a reminder that their spiritual awareness is power within itself. The fact that we built this country, no, F that. We built this entire world.
Thank you.
This just goes to show you how much power we truly have when we do come together.
Thank you.
And as a true world queen would say, we are royalty.
Yes. Yes. And let me just say something going along with what you're saying, brother. We are royalty, and my man Keith Newson's saying this to us. He's using the science. We should stop integrating. We should stop sharing our genetics with people that are non-melanated people. Okay, with Europeans. Do not share your genetics with Europeans. Do not. Don't share your precious royal genetics with Europeans. Okay. Now we know that we have some issues in our own community with interpersonal relations, but we got to work together. We got to transcend past those interpersonal problems that we may have, that we deal with. Hell, who doesn't have them? But don't use that as the excuse to say, well, I don't want to deal with a black woman because black women are this and that. So let me go out here and get me a Becky. Don't integrate your genes with Becky. Black people, please. I don't want to start crying on this air right now. Just don't do it.
You're talking about the modern day mannequin, you know, the one that got to hold up the plastic surgery industry.
Yes. Yes, brother, you're absolutely right. Just don't do it. Like those, remember those cigarette commercials when they're telling you not to smoke, and they say your winner got cancer from smoking, and he said, just don't smoke, don't do it. Well, I'm telling y'all, this is a damn alert to you all. I'm here to sound the bell of alert, okay? Because we have a very serious problem, and that is don't do it. Do not share your genetic power. Do not share your genetic makeup. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. If you don't come back to this chat room if you're going to engage. Don't do it. That's what I got to say about it. Lions Den, what other stories do we have that we didn't touch on? Let me see. Black woman. You talked about the black woman that was hung by the by a tree, right, brother?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Okay, we talked about. So, family, I know it's late. I want to thank you guys, all of you. Lions Den, can you give everybody a shout out? Read down to everybody. Read everyone that's in the chat room. Who's in there?
Yes. M. Mitch is in the chat room. Bonafide 1970s in the chat room. RDB Fresh is in the chat room. Brother Doobie is in the chat room.
Brother Doobie.
Yeah, Sonya C's. Let's see who else. King Wade is still in the chat room. Captain is in the chat room now.
Hey,
COG,
Cap, what's up? I'm sorry, Lawrence. I had to say that. Sorry about that.
COG, Conscious of Genocide, also in the chat room. But Info, I want to make another story, if I may add. That's
okay, go right ahead.
Disturbing.
Go ahead.
Okay. A black man in Las Vegas was accused of walking into a boulevard. It was a boulevard mall with a toy gun or a fake gun. He's been charged. His name is Emil Darren Hopkins. He's been charged with committing acts of terrorism over a toy gun. Are you serious?
Yeah, I heard about that. What? Let's bring it back to a third eye of thinking. What was going on? That first of all, what was he doing bringing a toy gun into an apartment store? What was going on?
That's a good question. And well, they didn't give no more information than that. All they said that he's been charged with committing act of terrorism, and he was spotted him walking through the mall with a fake gun.
Because let me just say something. This is what I'm talking about. We live in a climate right now where they want any excuse to kill our asses and incarcerate us, right?
Yeah.
So as a black man, I'm just telling you, if I'm going to a mall, the last thing I really want to do, and I know people are going to say, well, you can't be a scary cat. You can't. I'm telling you straight up, the last thing I want to do in this year 2018 as a black man is go into a shopping mall with a toy gun and walk around, because they already think that we're violent. They already think that we're gun-toting. They already see us as, demonstrative, man. So that's the last thing I don't want to do. I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to bring no fucking attention to myself like that. Now, should he be arrested for that? Did he accost someone? Did he take the toy gun and put it to someone's head? Did he go into the stores, Lions Den, and say, this is a stick up, give me this stuff and run out? What did he do, brother? Because we got to learn something here. When we shouldn't report these, we shouldn't report these stories, brother, if we don't have more meat and sauce to these stories.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so what I'm saying, next time when we do this, brother, if the story don't have enough meat and sauce with it, meaning we don't know more information. Okay, now, we know that he had a toy gun. We know that he went into a mall. So the white media says. So we don't even know if that's really true. See? Because I don't I don't believe a lot of what they say to us. So we don't even know, did this brother really go into the mall? Was this brother sitting outside? Hell, did he just purchase this toy gun from a damn store in the mall? And maybe he was just walking with it, right? We don't know this. That's why I don't really want to jump to judgment and say, well, he was wrong or they was right. Because for all we know, he might have just purchased this gun and was on his way walking out of the damn mall, and they might have grabbed him up and said, hey, you got this gun. You know, who knows? When you black, any damn thing can be levied on you. So that's why I'm saying we got to really sometimes wait for these stories to develop before we start wanting to report these things. And then what we do is, when we report it, we're not giving everybody enough to go on, and we keep them hanging. And we can't do that. Can't do that. So folks, we can't do that.
But what's concerning, info, though, why you want to charge somebody with an act of terrorism? That's what blows my mind. Like, yeah, he has a toy gun, and I agree with you, info, that we don't know if he purchased a toy gun or why he's walking in the mall with a toy gun. But why would you charge a person with an act of terrorism? He didn't bomb anything. He didn't shoot anyone. That's my question. This just blows my mind on that.
I'll tell you why. And I might just have to play the recording of my Black Identity Extremist podcast tomorrow, maybe. I'll tell you why, brother, because I said it. We've said it for the premise of the show. We're in a prison system. Anything that happens to a black person, the white supremacist is the usual suspect. Anything.
Right.
Okay. And we already know that usually when something goes down, they always blame it on the black person as, oh, he did it. Right. So, and let me let you know another thing why this can also happen. A lot of us have forgotten that when George Bush Sr. or Jr. was in office, he signed into law the Patriot Act. So now these white supremacist police, they can say anything now. They can say, hey, you're an enemy of the state. So they are using this Patriot Act laws to get us caught up in a situation that is bad for us, brother. So I'm saying you got to remember that there's all these terrorism laws that they put on the books that they're utilizing to put on our black behinds, which is why they got this whole black extremist identity thing, man. So once again, like we said, when we walk out the door, we're all subject to be harassed and messed with by this system. Okay. Now, if he was a white boy walking around with a toy gun, 9 out of 10 times people would have been thinking that, oh, he just purchased a toy gun. 9 out of 10 times he would never have gotten this type of harassment. You just got the individual who killed those folks in Texas, 10 of his classmates or so, right?
Right. Yeah,
and now look how they've changed the narrative. They're trying to make this kid a sympathetic figure instead of being what he is, a damn terrorist. A white boy terrorist. But what did they do? They softened him up and say he needs to go to a special program. They're gonna put his butt in a special program. They're giving him sympathy. You don't hear anybody in the media calling him just what he is. They've already laid out and produced the narrative that they want you to believe in. You see, KD84, you have anything to bless us with?
I want to open my spiritual eyes again in a small sense. When you look at the first line of 2 Timothy, what does it say? Critical times will be hard to deal with. And this rampant oppression that we're facing right now is a part of those very critical times. And I'm just gonna say this: the brother made a mental error. It should have never been made. He should have been more aware of his surroundings. But that spiritual back to that spiritual point that was just made. I mean, we really are living in critical times. So all this oppression that we're facing right now is just a part of these critical times.
You're absolutely right. Now, let me read in the chat room. A few people were saying that something about coons. It's always nothing but the coons, you know. Bonafide. In the meantime, these white boys are walking around with assault rifles, weapons, slinging across their backs with ammunition and talk about practicing their Second Amendment rights. You're absolutely right, Bonafide, and welcome for being here. Let me read another message from someone in the chat room. Let me see. Let me read some more. Brother Danubian, the only gun we're allowed to walk around with is those who see the water gun we played with in the 6th grade and 7th. Yeah, you're right, brother. King Wade, salute to. Okay, someone says salute to him. Let me read some more up here. Lions Den, can you make out any of these other chats in here that you can read?
Oh yeah, Brother Dubian said, quote, "We walking around thinking we ain't at war."
Okay.
So, I'm reading also from RDB Fresh and Bonafide 1970. You damn right, America turned a blind eye to its own hypocrisy.
Let me see. What else do we have here? Wow, white terrorism of the United States. That's right. That's right. Let me tell. There's a brother in the chat room that I want him to come on. I want him to come in. I want to talk to him. He's the brother who's from the Caribbean. I want you to come into the chat room and talk to me for a minute because I know you want to set up a live stream with me. So come in, click into. I'm going to put another link in the chat room. Come in for a brief moment because we're going to put a crescendo on tonight. And I want you to come in and talk to me for a minute. So bless us with your presence while I get into here and put another link in there. Brother Doobie. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to add one more point. President Obama also signed the NDAA into law as well, along with the Bush Patriot Act. And right before Trump's FBI introduced the BIE.
Okay.
That's so true. The National Defense Authorization Act. You're so right, KD84.
If you connect all three, it adds up to our current present day oppression.
You're absolutely right. Wow. So the brother in the chat room who has the Caribbean heritage, I left the 2 links in there. 3, come on in, click into the link and come into the panel so I can talk to you for a moment, brother. You sent me a message today on one of my videos, remember? Let me see.
Now this is D. Reading the chat room info.
Go ahead and read it, brother. Go ahead and read it. Yes, good.
Yeah. Sonia C says they don't want us to remember that Las Vegas terrorist. Remember, he shot 500 people in less than 15 minutes.
We got COG, Consciousness of Genocide that just came into the chat room. Thank you, brother, for being here. We salute you. Sandra, we have been victimized continuously without a break. We have to tap into that melanin magic that we all have at the very least before you go to sleep. Visualize a scenario where we win. Oh yeah, I always visualize that scenario, sister. I like what you said. That was great thoughts. Great thoughts. I'm waiting for the brother to come into the chat room. I don't know why he hasn't clicked into the let me see if I can highlight his name and then bring him in. Let's see. There goes his name. Okay, brother, I'm highlighting your name. I want you to come in. I put those links in there. All right. Come into the panel, brother. Hit the links. Okay, I'm gonna wait a little longer, see if he comes in. If he doesn't, we'll put a crescendo on tonight's program. I'm really glad that you came aboard with us, KD84. Thank you for that, brother, for your support coming in and giving us some wisdom and breaking some things down.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Anytime.
I really appreciate that. I believe Oyapo talked to me because he said he wanted to get the brothers together to go more deeper into examining this lynching shit that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be a good idea. I know some folks have, I think some folks like Nicole, Ali, some of them have left the chat. They're tired. They got to get up for work the next day. I totally get it and understand.
Yeah.
We're going to probably end this. I think I'm waiting for that brother to come in. He told me that he wanted to do a live stream to talk about things from a Caribbean perspective because that's where he's from. And I've been out. Hey, how you doing, Kashmir? Welcome. I'm waiting for him to click into come on in, brother. Renegade. Brother, I'm calling you out, Renegade. Come on in the chat room, brother. I sent 2 links for you to click into. I'll do it again. I'll try it one more time. I just put 2 links in there. Come on in before we end this. I'm giving you a little bit of time. So, Lions Den, brother, I like this format, the way we're doing this per show tonight. I like the format in terms of the articles that we try to look up, and we're talking about what's going on. I think this format is somewhat smooth tonight, and I like that. So what we'll do each week is we'll be doing the reports like this. So this live stream is going to be up for a whole week. I'm not going to delete this live stream until we go into the next news stories that are going on, okay? So this will stay up, and then each week as we get into new stuff that's going on in the world, I'll delete the stream, and then we do a fresh one, you know?
Okay.
This is like our weekly news report. It's your news report, brother. So he has the Renegade. Okay, I'll do it in the AM information, man. In the AM. Well, brother, I'm gonna have to end it, brother, because I gotta get off, brother. I wanted you to come on in right now, but just contact me. I left you my email. So I'm gonna leave the email in the chat for everybody. So if y'all can want to contact me, and if anybody wants to do any live streams or anything together, I appreciate doing that. So I'm gonna leave my email. Lions Den, tell them your YouTube channel, brother. Let them know who you are.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is Lions Den. For those of you who can, go to my avatar and click in and just subscribe. I'll talk about everything which is political, which is the Black perspective on my personal channel, and a little bit of sports, but more likely the Black perspective. So check me out.
Okay, and KD84, you have a YouTube channel as well, right?
Yes, I do. Just type in KD84. My YouTube channel is very pro-Black centered, but I will also go into pro-Black finance. I'm gonna start beginning those videos pretty soon.
Fantastic. So let me Lions Den one more time. Can you read off? And we're gonna call it a good night, everybody. can you read? And let me remind everybody, myself, Lowcast, and Nicole Ali are going to be doing a live stream sometime over the weekend. I know it's going to be a action-packed weekend because that's pretty much the time when everybody's doing some type of stream. So it's going to be action-packed. I'm pretty sure the Queen's going to do the Queen, True Royal Family is going to do something. I'm pretty sure we're going to just make it action-packed, like bottom line, okay? Whatever we're doing this weekend, we're going to bring you action-packed content. So, Lions Den, give everybody a salute in there. Name everybody that's in the chat room if you can.
Okay. We got, like I said, Sandra is in the chat room. King Wage is in the chat room. Belief Renegade Riders in the chat room. Bonafide 1970s in the chat room. Cashmere's in the chat room. Hook Mistress Reloaded in the chat room. The real Aaron Collins just come in. He's in the chat room now. RDB Fresh is in the chat room. COG Conscious of Genocide in the chat room. Audio Discourse is in the chat room.
Okay, this is what I need from both of you brothers. I need Audio Discourse. I'm about to send you an invite. I need to get these brothers on real quick to drop some, to bless us with some words. So I'm going to go to Real Aaron Collins. I'm sending you in. Real, you coming in. I got you now, brother. Send you an invite in. Audio Discourse. Matter of fact, Audio Discourse, I'm going to make you I'm going to make you a moderator too, brother, because you've been supportive. All right. Let me see. Let me go get Audio Discourse in here with an invite. There he goes. Bam. Invite him in. Boom. So we got the real Aaron Collins and we got Audio Discourse coming in. I just want to get them in so they can say a few words. Hey, brother, what's up?
What's happening? Information Man, Lions Den, KD84. What's happening, brothers?
Brother, we just been
Real Aaron Collins.
we just been,
basically, all good.
Yeah, KD84 has been helping us out, blessing us with knowledge, brother. We just talking about some of the issues around Lions Den came up with some good articles around the issue that happened in Oakland, some of the stuff that you guys were looking at earlier today with True Royal Family, and then the issue about the hanging. We got into the hanging incidents. I talked a little bit about, I got some statistics around suicide, trying to pull home the fact that Black people, we don't engage in suicidal behavior like hanging ourselves wholesale. And the statistics.
That's true. That's something we just don't normally do. That's not something that's actually really associated with us. That's true.
Yeah. And I brought in some facts and statistics to back it all up. And then my own personal experience in my job. So we touched on that. We got into the situation where this brother had a toy gun and he walked into the mall, so they say, got himself arrested. And we don't know all the details of that story because it's still kind of vague. So
why did he have the toy gun anyway?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying that's the reason for him to be arrested, but why did he have the gun? Why did he put himself out there like that?
Yeah, and see, I was telling Lions Den, we really don't know, man. We don't even know if he purchased a gun in the mall and got stopped because he carried it out of the store. We just don't know. That's why I think, like, when we get these stories, we gotta use caution. We gotta use caution.
Yeah, because a lot of our brothers don't really think about it. I mean, I love our brothers, but some of them don't really think about what they're doing. It's like, bro, the type of climate and atmosphere we living in. Don't put yourself out there to give them a reason to do something.
But here's the thing, the real Aaron Collins. It's like I explained to Info. What concerns me with the way they charge him with, the way they charge him with as the act of terrorism. So what do you think about that?
And this is really the first time I heard about it. I missed True Royal's
Sorry about
that. I was in an interview, but what was he doing anything threatening with it, or just the simple fact that he just had it and they just wanted to charge him?
Well, the way the story comes out, what it says was that he has a toy gun. He was labeled as a toy gun, but this was concerned about it. He didn't threaten anyone with it. He did not shoot anyone with it. He just had it in his possession. So he's charged with this young man with the acts of terrorism. But that's what's concerning me. That why would you charge him with an act of terrorism, which he's
Yeah, they sound like they're trying
not
to
a threat to
railroad them.
anyone. Yeah, not a threat to anybody. So that's why it's concerned me that they charge an act of terrorism, but you have white people. For example, what happened in the school this past week, that he killed 10 people,
Mm-hmm.
and then you won't charge him with act of terrorism? Come on
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Yeah, that's what it is. They always want to say that they a lone wolf, and they don't ever call them what they truly are: terrorism. They want to reserve the word terrorism for brown people, melanated people, like one of us, or a cat from the Middle East or something like that. They always go under the radar when it comes to being properly charged with something. But then that's because they are on code. They've always been on code. They continue to be on code. And they benefit from a system that they clearly designed for them to benefit from.
That's true. Hey, Discourse, brother, how you doing? Let me I think I had you muted because let me see. Let me Discourse, what's up, brother? I don't think he can hear me.
I think he's still on mute.
Yeah, I tried to mute because of the sound, that was coming through, but now I'm like trying to unmute. So what the heck did I do? Hey, Discourse, can you hear me? How do I unmute this brother here? That's odd, man. That's really odd how that works. But I guess I can still hear him. It's kind of weird.
Can you hear me?
Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but they got a lot of feedback, brother.
Oh, I'm about to get outside. I'm outside. I'm about to get in the inside real quick.
Yeah, get in the inside, brother. I wanted to get your brother. Have you been able to hear any of the things that we talked about tonight before we end the program?
I just saw that you were on, man. I didn't know until actually 5 minutes ago. I heard that you guys are talking about did somebody get shot again? I've been so out of it. What's going on?
Lions did explain to him what's been going on.
A couple of things is going on our discourse. One of them, we just finished talking about a brother in Las Vegas who had a toy gun. I mean, he went to the mall, had a toy gun without threatening anyone or anybody, and I guess police is charging with the act of terrorism, which is so.
Are you serious? What the fuck? Really?
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. You got the Las Vegas shooting. You didn't call him a terrorist. You got the school shooting the week ago. You didn't call that a terrorist, but you called this young man a terrorist.
That's just dumb.
That's ridiculous.
Because here's my thing on this. They want to support that black identity extremists. Notice how you find it's funny, right when they even pulled that out, like all these WIEs, like white identity extremists, kooks of hazard idiots, have been doing more damage to anybody. And then they try to throw Rakeem Balagun in for nothing. And I mean, they eventually released them, but still, like that was messed up, they're just trying, they're reaching. That's what they're doing right now. This is so stupid. Are you serious?
Here's what's so bad about this too. The state of Nevada is an open carry state anyway. So why would you go ahead and charge this man who had a fake gun on him? I mean, we don't even know why he has a fake gun, whether he was in the mall with a fake gun, or he bought a fake gun. But even with that story, why would you charge him with committing acts of terrorism? For both reasons.
He probably just bought that thing too. I mean, they sell those damn toy guns at the mall. I don't understand. Was it Laquan McDonald that got gunned down because he was looking at some toy gun or something, or was about to buy a gun?
Laquan McDonald was in Chicago. He got gunned down in Chicago by some out of control race soldiers.
No, this is John Crawford III in
Yeah,
Ohio.
that's
He
what I was
brought,
thinking. I'm
brought,
sorry.
brought the gun inside the Walmart, and that's when police
Yeah, it was
opened
John
fire.
Crawford. I'm so sorry. Sorry about mixing that up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
so stupid. That I mean, like, it's
yeah, I
like,
know
damn.
Balagoon. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I know Balagoon personally. I know those cats. When I lived in Texas, I know a lot of those cats from the Huey Newton Gun Club. I know them
Man,
personally.
those guys are heroes. You know what was the trip? I did a video about him when they locked him up, and his family members were like totally. I tripped out, but I'm like, whoa, like I was surprised that they even saw my video, like, and they were telling me what was going on, and they were thanking me for doing it. And I'm glad that he's out now, but it's just messed up. They need to pay him, like, they need to compensate him for what they did, like that. But even getting back to this, so now the guy's in jail, or what's going on?
Yeah, he's in jail in Vegas right now, waiting I guess waiting trial for this as a terrorist. Like I told and just a few minutes ago. I mean, it doesn't matter. He bought the toy gun or he had the toy gun in his possession. He didn't commit any crime. He didn't threat anybody. So he's charged with committing for no apparent reason.
Wow. It's like those vagrancy laws that they used to just try to like throw shit at us. Those vagrancy laws, like right after chattel slavery, right? Just to put us
Yeah.
back in jail. It's the same fucking thing, dude. Like they basically are just like scrap. I mean, like they're reaching, bro. Like they're reaching like I don't know what. That's oh god, what? I mean, like that is just fucking stupid. Like you can't do anything, man. That's some fucking black boogeyman syndrome shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah, there's
sorry, I
plenty
don't
of
mean
white
to.
boogeymans out here. Shoot, it's plenty of white boogeymans out here. Hell, you just had
Yeah.
just had that terrorist. I'm gonna call them a terrorist if they don't. In Santa Fe, Texas, you
Oh,
had
the devil.
Nicholas Cruz in Parkland, Florida, and we can't forget about what's his name in Vegas.
The Vegas shooter.
Paddock,
Yeah.
Paddock.
yeah,
Hmm.
Paddock, yeah. We can't forget about him. All three of them were terrorists and white identity extremists. And like I said, if they don't call them that, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call them that, and I'm gonna stand on the rooftop with a bullhorn and call them that, because that's
Yeah,
exactly
I'm
what
I'm
they
right
are.
along with you. They are WIEs, man. They're white identity extremists. I call them kooks of hazards as well. All these clowns, I kid you not, like this kid, they're trying to fucking put this thing, oh, he's a victim. No, his dad is saying he's a victim. His dad was in the fucking Golden Dawn. That's a white supremacist group from Greece. No, he's not no damn victim because he got rejected. Fuck, I get rejected all the time by chicks. You don't see me shooting people.
Yeah,
What
I'm
the
so sick and
hell?
Exactly.
tired of that shit. They always so quick to put the victim. They want to play the victim card so much. They want to be victimized so much. I mean, think about all the you know how many black kids and grew up without both parents in the home, then
Yeah.
grew up without everything. But you don't see none of us. And we come from the hood, but you don't see none of us going murking whole schools and shit like
Nope.
that.
But
They
see, here's
always
another.
blame us. Oh no, I'm sorry. Go for it.
But okay, I was gonna say that after that shooting happened, I don't know if y'all saw a video, but there's a white dude carrying a 9mm gun on the side of his pocket, side of his holster. It's open carry stand. He walked to the American flag and had a gun on the side from the crime scene. So tell me, what is that
I couldn't really hear you, sir. What was that?
All that. Say it
about?
again,
Okay,
Lion. Say it again.
no, I was saying that there's a video showing a guy who's a Trump supporter had a 9mm gun from his holster with American flag at the crime scene at the school, and had an interview with them walking around with a gun on the side. And after the school tragedy, about
Yeah, how come they didn't put his ass in jail? He's a fucking terrorist. He's a damn kook of hazard. What the fuck? Really? Sorry for all my cursing, you guys. That's just stupid.
You're absolutely
Man,
right.
I don't get that, man. Like, They don't want to call them terrorists. They want to coddle them. They want to say, oh, they're victims or they have a mental situation. You know what? They've had that mental situation since slavery, dude. That's no damn excuse.
Like
That's
Cynthia
just
G
stupid.
always said, this is who they are.
Uh-huh.
It seems to be the reality, gentlemen. It seems to be what we're faced with. So we have to really, like I said, when we go out the door every day that we wake up, we need to watch our backs going and coming. We need to watch ourselves, man. We need to protect ourselves because any of us can be a victim of the stuff that we're reading about, the stuff that we report on, man. Just got to keep
not
in
cool.
mind, the very stuff that we report on every week. We can all be a victim of this, man. That's how real it is. We just have been blessed that we haven't been in a situation like that. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, like I said, Lions Den was saying that we don't know all the details of the story with the guy with the gun. But I know one damn thing sure right now in this climate, I'm not walking in any damn mall with a toy gun or a real gun or any damn gun of any kind, given the climate that we operate in. And I told Lions Den, we got to remember, we still got that Patriot Act on the books, man. They can put that terrorist shit on you anytime.
Wow. Explain what that is. I've always heard of it, but I don't know the details about that.
Remember during 9/11 when everybody got scared because of what happened in New York? And they came up with a bill called the Patriot Act to protect supposedly the country, right? And in doing so, they had to use fear to get people to give up their civil liberties. That's when they start changing the narrative and saying that the CIA or the FBI and the Homeland Security, they can spy on people, right? They even have a thing where they have people that work as, let's say you got something wrong with your TV and you have a cable guy come out, right? That cable guy could be working as a double agent, meaning he could be watching. Like there's incidents where you have a guy who comes out to repair a computer. He looks in your computer and he can tell you've been co-hosting with terrorist type people. So then he goes back and reports that to the powers that be, because not only is he a technician, but he's also working as a double agent. They have these kind of people out here. So, and then the Patriot Act is that if they deem you an enemy of the state, a terrorist combatant, all your rights under the law are out the door, which is why they can put you in black sites where nobody will ever hear from you again. That's what they can do to you. So that's why I'm saying now, if you guys are up on my man, go check out the Rex 80, was it Rex 85?
Rex 84? At Rex 84, right?
Yeah. The King Liverpool plan. Was it King Liverpool plan? What is it? Yeah.
It's I know what you're talking about. It's King something. King Harold? No. I know what you're talking about. King Alfred. That's what it was.
No. King Arthur. King Arthur plan.
King Alfred plan. Oh, King Arthur.
The King Arthur plan is a contingency plan that is something breaks out in the urban environment in which black people come together in mass. There's riots. There's everything out of control. They already have military bunkers under the ground in secret locations to take our black behinds. They have a plan of how they're going to deal with us savages, as they call us, when something really goes down. It's called the King Arthur plan. They put it into law. It's how they're going to deal with the urban setting when you have uprise, brother.
Info man. I'm sorry. I thought it was actually the King Alfred plan because I remember hearing about that too. You know, that's brother. Nuts, man.
That's what I'm talking about. I might have said Arthur. That's wrong. Alfred plan. King Alfred plan. Thank you.
King Alfred plan. I wonder, can I Google that?
Yeah, you can Google it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, this is some good knowledge right here. I never heard of that. I've heard of some stuff.
Let me do a Google search real quick. King Arthur plan 84.
You know, I've also heard stories about, like, if you look at the major freeways.
Here it is. Let me read this to you guys real quick.
Yeah, the freeways.
The King Alfred plan, Rex 84. The King Alfred plan. Let's see. The King Alfred plan was a fictional CIA. led scheme supporting an international effort to eliminate people of African descent, specifically to define how to deal with the threat of Black uprising in the United States by coordinating off Black people into a concentrated camp. So they're gonna cordon you off. Now check this out. Remember in the Rodney King incident when people were rioting, what did they do? They made sure that Black folks in South Central LA stayed their ass in South Central LA. They brought in the National Guard.
Make sure stay contained in there. Yeah, make sure stay contained in South Central LA. Yep, I remember that. Matter of fact, that sounds like a component to COINTELPRO to prevent the rise of a Black Messiah.
It is.
And I was
Go ahead.
I heard that the reason why, like in major freeways, why there's 4 lanes and on a freeway going both ways is so they, in the event, they could be able to put a tank on there in case they declare martial law.
Yeah,
that's the reason why there's 4 lanes on the freeway. So that way they don't have to like truck it in. They can just get right on the, say, like I live in LA, the major freeway here will be the 405 or the 110 or the 101, anything like that.
Well, the 710
right there. Yep, the 710 too. Or they can just get a tank on there, and they can
it's already been put in action. They did it in South Central during that time, and they did it in Ferguson. That's why in Ferguson all the cops were militarized because
in Chicago too.
Yeah. So let me see here. Specifically, it defines how to deal with the threats of Black uprising in the United States by cordoning off Black people into a concentration camps in the event of a major racial incident. The plan first appeared in John A. Williams' 1967 novel, The Man Who Cried I Am, fictionalized account of the life and death of Richard White in the afterworld to letter editors William. Compared the King Arthur plan to an intelligence program devised by J. Edgar Hoover, the devil. Okay.
J. Edgar Hoover, you mean?
Yeah. The 1960s to monitor the movements of Black militants. It also bears similarities to rumors in the early 1950s surrounding the McKellen Act, anti-communist laws in which politicians survive were to be rounded up and placed in concentration camps during a natural emergency when his novel was first published. So I'm going to stop it right there. Y'all can do your research, but this is the plan that they have for your Black behinds. And with that said, folks, I'm going to put a crescendo on tonight. I want to thank everybody in the chat room. Lions Den, read off the good names of the people in the chat room.
Okay. Yes, RDB Fresh, DOC, Conscious of Genocide, King Wage, Kashmir G, Brother D Nubian, Hood Mistress Reloaded, Sonya C's, King Wage, Bonafide 1970, and Sandra, that's basically it.
Brothers and sisters, thank you out there in the chat room. I love you. We'll probably go strong we'll probably do something into the weekend. I want to thank our Discourse for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you, brother. K84, brother, thank you. KD84, thank you, brother. I'm glad that you were able to be aboard with us. And my man, the real Aaron Collins, came on board with us. I appreciate that.
It's always a pleasure to chop it up with you, brothers, man. I enjoy it.
All right, brothers. Well, we will get together soon again, brother. And thank you, everybody.
Peace to you guys, man. Thanks again, Info Man.
Oh, thank you, brother. I always love everybody's presence.
All right, Audio Discourse. Glad to hear from you too, bro.
Yes,
man. All right, bro.
All right, everybody. Thank you. And with that said, that will end the program, and here we go.
truth to power, truth to power. Wait a minute. We're speaking truth to power, truth. Myself, information, and lions. Welcome to truth, power.
Thank you, everyone. It was great tonight. Thank you. Everyone, take care. Love you.